In the year 1941, the world witnessed the horrifying unfolding of Operation Barbarossa, Nazi Germany's invasion of the Soviet Union. This act of aggression would plunge the world further into the abyss of World War II and lead to one of history's most brutal sieges. The Siege of Leningrad. Leningrad, then the second largest city in the Soviet Union, a vital center of industry and culture, soon found itself in the crosshairs of the German Wehrmacht. The city, with its rich history and vibrant population, became a strategic target. The Nazi objective was to capture Leningrad, crush its spirit, and cripple the Soviet war effort. As events unfolded, German forces, aided by Finnish troops, advanced relentlessly. By September 8, 1941, the city was encircled. Almost all land routes supplying Leningrad were severed. The siege had begun. During this period, the nearly 3 million inhabitants of Leningrad became trapped. They faced not only the constant threat of shelling and bombing, but also a far more insidious enemy: starvation. Throughout the era of the siege, which stretched an agonizing 872 days, the daily struggle for survival became paramount. Food supplies dwindled rapidly. Rations were drastically reduced. Imagine a meager few hundred grams of bread a day, often mixed with sawdust and other inedible substances, becoming the staple diet. Subsequently, as food became increasingly scarce, desperation drove people to extreme measures. Wallpaper paste was scraped from walls and consumed. Leather belts were boiled for sustenance. Even beloved pets became a source of food. Starvation, a slow and agonizing killer, stalked the city's streets. The winter of 1941-1942 was particularly devastating. Temperatures plummeted far below freezing. Fuel and electricity were virtually non-existent. The city, its infrastructure crippled, froze. Thousands perished from the combined assault of cold and hunger. Homes became icy tombs, yet amidst the suffering and death, an extraordinary spirit of defiance emerged. Leningraders, facing unimaginable hardship, refused to surrender. Factories, despite constant bombardment, continued to churn out weapons and ammunition. Citizens, young and old, joined militias, determined to defend their city. Even the city's cultural institutions, its theaters and orchestras, continued to function, offering a glimmer of hope and normalcy in a world turned upside down. This unwavering resilience, this refusal to break, became a symbol of the city's resistance. The Siege of Leningrad would become a testament to the strength of the human spirit, a poignant reminder of the devastating impact of war, and a crucial turning point in the larger conflict on the Eastern Front. During this period of relentless siege, a tenuous lifeline emerged. As winter tightened its icy grip on Leningrad, Lake Ladoga froze over. This frozen expanse, though treacherous, offered a glimmer of hope. It became the road of life. Across this frozen highway, a desperate effort to supply the besieged city began. Trucks and even horse-drawn sledges braved the thin ice, risking plunging into the frigid depths. They also faced the constant threat of German shelling and air attacks. Every journey was a gamble, a race against time and the elements. The road of life, precarious as it was, became a symbol of hope and survival. It brought vital supplies of food, fuel, and ammunition into Leningrad. It also provided a route for evacuating civilians, particularly children and the elderly, away from the horrors of the besieged city. While it saved countless lives, the road of life also claimed many victims, lost to the ice, the cold, and the relentless attacks. Throughout the era of the siege, the cultural life of Leningrad remarkably did not cease. Even amidst the starvation and death, theaters continued to perform. Orchestras played symphonies. Dmitri Shostakovich's Seventh Symphony, the Leningrad Symphony, was composed and premiered in the besieged city. becoming a powerful symbol of resistance and hope. Imagine the power of music echoing through a starving city, bolstering the spirit of a people facing unimaginable hardship. Subsequently, as the siege dragged on, the people of Leningrad adapted and innovated. They developed ingenious ways to survive. Urban gardens were planted to supplement the meager rations. Alternative sources of fuel were explored. Every scrap of material was repurposed. The ingenuity born of necessity became a hallmark of the city's resistance. In the year 1943, after a grueling 18 months, the Soviet forces achieved a significant breakthrough. They managed to open a narrow land corridor south of Lake Ladoga, partially breaking the siege. While this offered some relief, the city remained under heavy bombardment and continued to face severe shortages. The final liberation of Leningrad finally came in January 1944. After 872 days of unimaginable suffering, the Red Army pushed back the German forces, lifting the siege completely. The city, scarred and devastated but unbroken, emerged from the ordeal as a symbol of resilience and defiance. The Siege of Leningrad remains one of the most tragic and heroic chapters of World War II. It stands as a grim reminder of the cost of war, the enduring strength of the human spirit, and the vital role of hope in the face of despair. In the aftermath of the siege, the true scale of the devastation became horrifyingly clear. Leningrad, once a vibrant metropolis, lay in ruins. Buildings were bombed out shells. Infrastructure was shattered. The city bore the deep scars of a prolonged and brutal siege. During this period of recovery, the people of Leningrad began the arduous task of rebuilding their lives and their city. They returned to their ruined homes, facing the daunting challenge of restoring what had been lost. The physical and emotional toll of the siege was immense. Throughout the era following the war, the memory of the siege remained deeply etched in the collective consciousness of the city and its people. The stories of resilience, sacrifice, and unimaginable suffering were passed down through generations. The siege became an integral part of Leningrad's, now St. Petersburg's, identity. Subsequently, historians have meticulously documented the Siege of Leningrad, analyzing its strategic significance, its impact on the course of World War II, and its profound human cost. The siege is studied not only as a military campaign, but also as a testament to the power of human endurance under unimaginable duress. The estimated number of civilian deaths during the siege remains a subject of debate among historians. Figures range from 600,000 to over 1.5 million. The majority of these deaths were caused by starvation, followed by disease and the relentless shelling and bombing. The Siege of Leningrad stands as a chilling example of the brutality of war and the devastating impact it can have on civilian populations. It serves as a stark reminder of the importance of humanitarian efforts in times of conflict. The experience of Leningrad also underscores the critical need for international cooperation to prevent such tragedies from ever happening again. During this period of reflection, it is crucial to remember the individual stories of those who lived through the siege. The diaries, letters, and testimonies of survivors offer invaluable insights into the daily struggles, the acts of courage, and the unwavering hope that sustained them through the darkness. These personal accounts personalize the immense suffering and provide a powerful connection to the human dimension of this historical tragedy. The legacy of the Siege of Leningrad continues to resonate today. It serves as a cautionary tale about the horrors of war, a testament to the resilience of the human spirit, and a powerful reminder of the importance of remembering and learning from the past. The Siege of Leningrad stands as a somber reminder that even in the darkest of times, the human spirit, fueled by hope and resilience, can endure.